Okay, let's get another training game in. Get the white pieces. And I am an E4 player. So we're going to get a Sicilian. Slovenia. Alapin Sicilian is what I've been playing consistently for a while. I'm going to stay consistent with that, I think, for quite a while. Because I really have enjoyed these IQP positions I've been getting out of it. There's lots of transpositions from other openings, and I have enjoyed getting to study these positions. Okay. That's interesting. So he pushes e4, e5. Sometimes I like to go c4 and attack the queen here. But here there's a check. Which I can really only block here or with the queen. And then I'm going to drop the pawn and get castled. If I take the pawn, offering up a queen trade where my king is going to have to move to recapture. So that's an interesting try. And I'm not sure what the book line is here. I just develop the bishop now and he takes. And I take back and he takes. I still have the IQP. I don't have the IQP. He has an IQP. He's up a pawn. And this might be a bit of a target, maybe. And then I get castled. And then what? His whole king side is undeveloped with an open E file. What if I take with the knight? Knight takes back. Pawn takes. He can take the queen or you can take the pawn. Do that. Okay. So he can go up the pawn here. But he's going to run a risk if he does. Okay. So now we're going to get castled. Ooh, that's a nice little threat. Trying to trick me into just castling without thinking. I go here. Let's do that. Attack the queen. Got to stay on the protection of the bishop. And then I'm going to castle. Okay, going to castle. I'm going to check. And I'm going to threaten to win the queen. Okay. He just moves the king out of the way. And what happens when I attack the queen? Hmm. What is my idea here? Suddenly I'm the one that's underdeveloped. I think that keeps protection on the F pawn, prevents C. I thought it prevented that. Why didn't it prevent that? Okay, he's preparing a check here with the queen. But I think I just get a pawn. I just get that pawn because my queen is protecting the bishop again. Okay. I got up a pawn here somehow. I allow him to push again, and I push G3. He has queen C6 ideas. My queen's tied down to defense. Maybe I prevent that. Seems like I should prevent that. Okay. It's getting spicy. Let's see here. He's got 3 attackers on my F pawn. He's threatening to come in, knight to G3, attack the queen. I think my F pawn's going to fall, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. If he wants the F pawn, because that opens up the F file for me to attack. I think it might benefit me to I was thinking about queen f2, getting off that attack from the knight. It's this pawn, but when the knight moves, the pawn is protected. I really don't know if he wants to take here, but he may. Looks very tricky. Very, very tricky. What if I bring my knight over here and just put my knight on a more useful square? He attacks my queen, and then I lift my queen. Maybe he just takes the pawn straight up after I do that. I think the knight's more useful if I can move it, so we're going to move the knight. I'm going to force him to decide if he wants the pawn. He does want the pawn. Okay. Pretty decent idea to open up that diagonal. It gives me lanes of attack as well, huh? If I take the knight, bishop takes, and then I go knight to e5, eyeing up this f7 square and a discover attack on the bishop. That looks like a good idea. Disconnects the queen and bishop. And this bishop is undefended, so if he moves the bishop back, I take the dark square bishop. If he takes my knight, I take the light square bishop. We'll see how that changed anything. It's already attacking the knight. Queen can't take the knight because rook takes queen. Oh, okay. They got the rook. Maybe the rook can protect here now. Can it? I have any neat little sacrifice here to deflect the rook? The king can take the rook. Rook check. King has to take the rook. Otherwise, he loses the queen. My queen's hanging currently. With the rook here, the king here, I check here. I don't think any of that works. Well, what about rook here? Rook to e5, threatening the queen. If queen takes rook, then queen takes rook here. Queen comes back to defend. And then what? Queen takes pawn. We'll pick up another pawn over here. Does that win a pawn? Bishop can't take because that's instant mate. So queen takes, queen takes, queen blocks, queen takes b7. Still eyeing up checkmate in one with a pawn. Other options are queen moves somewhere, and I stack rooks. But nah, if I do that, then he can take with the bishop. If the queen comes back here to defend mate, then the bishop, the rook is hanging. Can I chase it though? Queen drops back. Rook here. No. The king can capture. The rook is hanging because mate is defended. And I bring the rook behind the queen. If he takes the rook, I take the pawn, or maybe I just take the bishop back. Bishop takes, queen take. No, queen's protecting that. And the king's got escapes if I check with this. I think I drop back one and just look at stacking rooks. Yeah. So he doesn't fall forward. He doesn't give me the pawn. Good defense. Now I can stack rooks, though. And this rook is tied to defending mate here. The bishop can't move because it's defending, well, the queen's defending mate currently. So stacking rooks seems like the idea here. I don't see how I can go wrong with that. The bishop's got this square too. Important to remember the queen is on this diagonal, so I have a back rank problem. He defend his bishop so that he can lift his pawn. Or does he lift his rook? For white, I definitely prefer white. My pieces are more active. His rook is buried in the corner here. He's got an out for it, but it's not extremely useful. Not a lot of room to maneuver. King doesn't have a whole lot of spaces to go. If he goes over here, he's pinning this pawn again. Well, if he goes over here, I check. And mate to follow. So king can't move. Rook is stuck on the back rank defending mate. Bishop could move. Where can the bishop move? The bishop can't move either. There's nowhere for the bishop to go. Taken anywhere that it does go. So no move for the bishop. The queen is defending this very important f7 square. But the bishop is also blocking. So maybe the queen has some movement. Queen here, or maybe rook h6. Okay, or he just pushes a6. That seems like a punt. That is very much like a punt. Now can I go rook here? Rook e7. Attacking the queen and attacking the f7 square. Bishop can't take because that's instant mate. He can't block with the rook because rook e8 is instant mate. So what does he do? Nothing. Does nothing. He can take with the queen. He can take with the queen. I'll give up 2 rooks for the queen. Maybe that wasn't my best idea. So I think he's getting off easy with two rooks for the queen here. I think that's the only option, though. I don't have any follow-up checks is the problem. And he gets to coordinate a little bit. I said I can check here. I can check on e4 and pick up the b7 pawn. But then he blocks with the rook. Eesh. Maybe he doesn't block with the rook. Yeah, I think he had a better option there. I think he had to leave his king in the middle and block with the rook. So now he's just in trouble. Good game, fella. Yeah, I think he could have defended that a little bit better and played on. I had a brilliant move. Always like seeing that brilliant move on there. That's very satisfying. So Alapin Sicilian. This was a funny line that I don't face too often. It's a book line, though. And I played a book move in response. Here's the best move. The Barmen variation. The Barmen defense and the Alapin. Okay. It says this is a mistake. I did not like this move. What are my other options? Defend with g3. Inaccurate. Better, but still inaccurate. Develop the knight. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. That makes really good sense. Exclam. Good move. Just moving the king out of the way. This was inaccurate. I should not have stacked the queen. Because of this move, yeah. What are my better ideas here then? Hmm. Are my ideas here? I'm looking for ways to deflect the knight, because if the knight isn't protecting e8, it's mate. Once the bishop gets to move, then the rook is guarding e8. So, I mean, the only problem is I see is that like any queen sacks here, he's not forced to take, and it doesn't really produce a threat. It's just bait. It's just hanging a little worm on a hook, hoping he bites. So what is the idea here? Maybe I just develop. Maybe I just get my bishop out. Doesn't like that either. It still likes this knight development. Okay. Fair enough. I have a pawn edge here. Didn't like that knight maneuver either. It wants me to come here and attack the bishop. And I think I think it's still because I have that same idea that I find from over here later. Because I'm losing the pawn. The pawn is gone. But I still have a 0.2 edge from this position versus, oh, I have 2.7 over here as well. 1.4 over here after this move. So it says he should not have taken with the knight. He probably should have taken with the bishop. Retry. He should take with the bishop. Or not at all. No. I forgot about his knight move here. But it thinks we should just get the rook involved and like let's get this rook out of the corner. That makes sense. Calls this a miss. I should just go for the gullet immediately. That's going to take some heavy calculation, which I'm not prepared to do in analysis here. It does like this move very much, says that's the best move. And a blunder. And this is a miss. Did not like my rook move here. Okay. What do I do then? Surely I don't trade queens. Oh, queen to d7 threatens mate here. If the queen backs up to x-ray defend, we have rook d8, deflecting the rook. The queen's protected, the king can't take. That's the best move, and it is a good move. I would have loved to have found that in game. Very nice. There's my brilliancy. Double exclam. Bishop can't take. But he does get... I mean, I guess in this position, the fact that the rooks are disconnected makes the two rooks versus the queen a very difficult prospect for black. But you have to give up the queen for the two rooks here. And I get... Yeah, he shouldn't have backed up. Should not have gone back, right? He goes from a 1.6 deficit to a 2.9. And in this position, oh, he has to go back. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? He come forward? Is that the only answer? Yeah, king d6 is the best move. Gives up the pawn, but there's no check, and I get to lift my rook. And think about starting to backtrack with my king after this rook gets involved, maybe. Okay. Fun game. Thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Come back and watch some more chess.